Good day! Sustainability is often associated with protecting the environment, but it can also be about empowering communities, supporting local livelihoods, and making more conscious choices every day. But before we get into today's conversation, grab your cup of coffee and join us on Freshly Brewed, where compelling conversations brew between fascinating guests and BusinessMirror's journalist hosts. For this episode, we'll explore how sustainability, entrepreneurship, and Filipino craftsmanship can work together to create meaningful impact for both people and the planet. To share her insights and experiences, let's listen in to the conversation between Reese Fernandez-Ruiz, co-founder and president of Rags to Riches, and our very own Bless Ogerio, BusinessMirror's trade and industry reporter.
Good day, everyone. Welcome to Freshly Brewed. I'm Bless Ogerio, trade reporter for BusinessMirror, and your host for today. Sustainability has become a buzzword in recent years, but for many people, it still raises a lot of questions. What does it actually mean in our everyday lives? Is it just about reducing waste, or can it also be about creating opportunities, supporting communities, and preserving local craftsmanship? Joining us today is someone who has spent years proving that sustainability can go hand in hand with social impact and entrepreneurship. She is the co-founder and president of one of the country's pioneering social enterprises that works with artisan communities to create products from upcycled and locally sourced materials. Please welcome Rags to Riches head, Reese Fernandez-Ruiz. Good day, Miss Reese, and thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you so much for having me. I'm so excited to be here today.
To start po, how's your day naman? Kumusta naman po kayo today?
Okay naman. It's been a very busy week, but it's always very busy in R2R. But I love being busy because that means we have more work for our community artisans.
I like the other name of Rags to Riches at R2R po, no? And when people hear the word sustainability, kadikit na po siya ng branding niya talaga sa R2R, sa Rags to Riches. And many may immediately think about the environment. But from your perspective, what does it really mean today? Ano po ba yung definition ng Rags to Riches ng sustainability?
Yes. So, when you think of sustainability, kasi napaka-big word, di ba? A lot of people are thinking about it as just for the environment, but we think of it in a more holistic sense. So for us, sustainability isn't just about the environment, it's also about the people, because that is so connected. Like, for example, in our work in the communities, we started in Payatas, and then we have other communities that we're supporting also, we're in partnership with now. Their areas are the most affected when it comes to natural disasters. So iisipin mo, baka dapat maglinis ng paligid, baka dapat ayusin yung mga bagay-bagay sa paligid. Think about the environment. But if you really think about it, people who are in the areas or in the communities and those who are struggling from day to day, mahirap isipin ang environment. Kung kailangan mo isipin kung ano kakainin ng pamilya mo later. So, for us, when it comes to sustainability, it means that yes, you take care of the environment, but you also enable people to take care of the environment by taking care of themselves first. Because it's hard to think about the bigger picture if your family is struggling. So, sustainability is holistic. It is about the environment, it's about the people, and when you're in a business that you say is sustainable, like you think about the environment and you think about people, you also think about how the business works and how it can live for a long time. So you also think about financial sustainability for your company. So ang dami. Parang the usual way of thinking is we just think about one bottom line, diba? When you think about business, you think about profit. But in our type of business, and I think it's also a growing movement, a lot of other companies are doing the same, gusto natin pahirapan ang sarili natin ng konti, even more. Ang hirap na isipin ng profit, but no, you have to think about all of the other bottom lines also. But even if it's harder, I think it's worth it because we all live in the world and we should take care of it.
Just for context, if correct po, nag-start po yung R2R noong 2007?
Yes.
And what was the thought process at that time? Kasi parang ngayon po talaga nag-boom yung campaign about sustainability, but 2007, it's been, what, many years ago?
Yes.
Ano po yung idea that time? Bakit po sinimulan yun at that year?
Yes. So, it was very serendipitous actually. So, hindi siya yung parang, it started with a business plan that we thought, this is a great idea, let's do this. It really started with seeing the problems on the ground because it's difficult, it's different if you see the problems right in front of you rather than just read about it or napanood mo somewhere. So for us, it started because the group of co-founders, including myself, we went to Payatas, that's our first community, and then we saw the group of artisans who were weaving foot rugs out of scrap fabric, and we saw that they were making these foot rugs. And we realized that even if they're very entrepreneurial, napakagaling ng mga community artisans, ang kinikita nila was 10 to 16 pesos a day only. So we thought, okay, this was not a fair situation. We should do something about this. And that's kind of how it started. It started because we wanted to directly provide livelihood to the community artisans and help them reach the market. Because they were not earning enough for their families. And doon na namin na-realize na ang dami palang magkakadugtong-dugtong na issues and the things that we should do. And that's how R2R started. So we said, okay, we wanted to have a company that supports livelihood. And then we realized, alam mo, marami namang nagtatry to do livelihood, right? But the recurring problem is always the market. Like, walang market Is opening a bazaar a market? Like bringing them to a trade fair, is that a market? It could be the beginning of the market, but it's not the market yet. You have to really work on it for a long time. So that's why we formed a company that would really build a strong brand. Kasi a strong brand can help support the community artisans for a longer time.
Tama po, no? And ang interesting lang na marinig na it's not just all about sustainability but also innovation. Iniisip din kung ano yung design, kung ano yung klaseng concept na hindi lang sustainable, pero kung di yung papatok din sa masa kasi parang baliwala din kung gagawa ng isang product or mag-innovate pero hindi kino-consider kung ano yung current trend, no?
Yes.
So that's good to hear po from R2R. Pero why do you think na sobrang nagiging important conversation na po nung sustainability these days? What's with the buzz?
Okay, so to be honest, when we were starting, the buzz was not as buzzy. It was very niche. So there was a group of people who would really rally for it and were actually, madaming medyo purist pa about it. Na parang, when you say you're sustainable, dapat 100% Dapat perfect ganon. The demand to be perfect was intense from a smaller group of people.
Sorry, miss.
Yes.
So, mahirap mag-adjust at that time sa mga purists?
We didn't really try to adjust to purists because if we did, we would never get started.
Yes.
So for us, let us try what we can. Let us do what we can with what we have. Let us start from step one. Because if we think about all perfection, we will never take the first step. So, paano na? Di balik tayo sa zero, diba? So, we have to think about what is the first step. How can we make a difference muna, and then do it again, and then do it again, and do it in a bigger way. So, yun yung ginawa namin. And then it was growing. Madaming mga movements towards sustainability. There were a few global companies that got really popular, who are sustainable fashion. Naging buzz rin naman siya. Ang daming beses throughout our 18 years of existence in R2R. And for us kasi it's not a trend. So for us it's been what we wanted to do from day one. So did we really care so much if there was a buzz or there was none? Parang for us, kung meron, edi nice. It's nice so that more people can get involved. But that would not discourage or encourage us. Because we're already on this path. And the work itself is what's encouraging for us. But I do think that because now the proliferation of like social media and information that is so accessible to everyone, the world is suddenly bigger and smaller at the same time.
Yes.
Bigger kasi ang dami mo nang alam from other sides of the world, but smaller because all of a sudden it's so real to you. Hindi lang siya statistic or nabasa mo in a textbook na parang a few years down the line. It's happening in real time. So, now that we're seeing it, I think more people are seeing that the way we're treating the world is really unsustainable. And we can't live in this world this way because it's really affecting us. So I think that's why more people are into sustainability. Although I do think marami pa ring hindi ganun kalalim yung pagtingin sa sustainability. And I really can't blame them. There are so many other problems in the world. But for R2R, again, it has never encouraged or discouraged us either way. We're just gonna stay the course.
Yes. But one thing about R2R is how it combines sustainability with Filipino craftsmanship. How those two ideas come together in your works?
So I think it's very connected, sustainability and local craftsmanship, because one of the things that help companies become more sustainable in terms of environment, in terms of impact, is creating an impact where you are and reducing also carbon footprint by focusing on your local economy and the communities that you can reach. So for us, we're in the Philippines. I was born here, raised here. I know I don't look super Filipino, but I'm like, my heart is like 100%. So I have like very strong love for the country, and I think there's a lot that we can do together. The Filipinos are very, very talented. So why not shine a light on that using our work? And at the same time, support our local community, which for us is sustainability.
Yung ganyang idea, umuusbong talaga siya kapag yung isang company is advocacy talaga nila, yung sinusulong nila, like R2R and sustainability.
Yeah.
But, you know, we often hear about fast fashion and overconsumption po, lalo recently.
Yeah.
How do you think consumers are changing today? Like their behavior sa pagbili ng mga gamit and products. Do you believe that Filipinos are, not just Filipinos, but the people, are they becoming more conscious about what they buy?
I think there's a segment in the market that is more conscious about what they buy. I think there are still people who don't really think about the impact of their purchase. And again, I don't blame them. They're probably thinking about other things, like their families, what they can afford right now. So to me, hindi ako naninisi ng tao. Kasi tingin ko, we all make our decisions based on information that we have and the things that are important to us and the current issues that we are facing. So what's important for me though is that we give space to those who are ready and willing and able to get to this side, like to support a movement like ours, who like our products. So to us, we have a space. Hindi siya ganun kalaki kasi as you can see, fast fashion is still growing. The biggest fast fashion companies are still very, very profitable. So that shows that they still have a market also. So I wouldn't say that the change is so big right now, that people are really, really rallying for sustainable fashion. But we are in this space. We're gonna fight for this space. And I'm happy that we have a space like this so that those who want to consider, those who are ready and willing and able to be advocates of R2R, can be advocates of R2R and other companies like ours.
But when someone buys a sustainably made product, ano po yung impact na actually nakakreate nila beyond the item itself?
So to us, because our company was built with sustainability in mind, gumagamit kami ng mga recycled materials. Our textile that we use are mostly offcuts or overstock or dead stock fabric, yung mga reject ng mga fashion brands.
Yes.
Na they come in rolls actually, and they are in factories and warehouses and are mountains. So merong mga mountains of textiles. So we use those. So in a way, the advocates, because our customers, we call them advocates because they're just more than customers to us. Our advocates get to be part of saving that little part of waste and then reloving them for a long time. And at the same time, we support the livelihood of community artisans. So our advocates are also being part of that. But to us kasi, it's also very important that they love the product, that they will use it for a long time. Because if not, then balik sa basura din, di ba?
Yes.
If it's something that they don't love for themselves. So for us, it's very important that we are design driven, and when the customers buy or the advocates buy the products, they know that they will use it for a long, long time. And the story is there, the advocacy is there. But to us, it's also very important that the advocates carry that story with them for a long time.
Along our conversation, you've spoken about creating value from materials that might otherwise go to waste. Ano po yung lessons na pwedeng matutunan ng businesses from this approach?
When you think about business kasi, usually, madami siyang usual things like revenue maximization, profit growth, cost reduction,
A lot of factors.
Daming factors, right? And there are many ways to do business. It depends on what business you are in. So to me, the business lessons are really more for businesses that are building brands and are also very in tune with the values, with their values. So to us, our values include sustainability, using what you have, like using waste materials, compassion for others. Those are our values, and we practice that so much in our company. But also as a brand, because we're very authentic about who we are, alam niyo ng advocates eh.
Yes.
And alam niyo ng team namin. Everyone who work with us, they know how important our values are to us. And that actually also attracts them to R2R. And that is what keeps them buying or coming to us or supporting us or even being part of our team.
Yes.
So authenticity and values, your rootedness in your values, hindi siya fun-fun lang or hindi siya parang, alam mo yun, things that you just say because kailangan meron kang vision, mission, values in a company, but it's really something that you live. I think it's really good for business because people will see right through you. They will know if you're not sincere, and they will not feel that you are really there for the communities or for them. So, being authentic, having meaning, having purpose, it's actually good for business.
Yes, I like what you said about that since I'm a consumer myself and nahahalata ko rin naman sa sarili ko kung yung isang business or kung yung isang organization is sincere sila about sa sinusulong nila. Pero I'm gonna be honest with this one, Miss. Since for ordinary consumers, yung topic ng sustainability, sometimes it can feel overwhelming or expensive nga naman.
Yes.
And with that, where do you think people should start? Kahit yung little ways lang ba?
Yes. Actually, I advocate for that a lot because for R2R, I know that we cater to a specific segment, that we have a market and we love our market, but I know that other people have other priorities and that's perfectly fine. So if you want to practice sustainability also, but you don't think that you can invest or afford products that are made by like local designers or local brands, I think you can start from where you are. Start with your closet. So, wear the things that you already have. Actually, yun yung isang bagay na I think a lot of people don't realize because I still remember a point in time when pag nag-ulit ka ng damit, people are like, yeah, sinuot mo na yan eh, ganon. I really hated that time.
The outfit repeater label, like, may washing machine ako or marunong ako maglaba.
Exactly. So, bakit? Parang, I hated that time so much because I was a student during that time. I didn't have a lot of money. So, parang ako, so pag napicturean na, hindi na pwede suotin?
One time use lang pala.
Oo, ano yan? Tissue? Parang, it's ridiculous. And I think it's an agenda. Do not buy into that agenda. Wear what you have. Use it over and over again. Be a proud outfit repeater.
Don't fall into the propaganda.
Wag, propaganda lang yan. Binibentahan ka lang yan.
Sinasabi nga po na consumerism is rooted in loneliness talaga or insecurity, kagaya ng...
Exactly. So don't buy into that. Be proud. Kasi if you're proud of it, nobody can shame you for it anymore.
Yes.
You're like, see this? Sinuot ko na yun, may picture. Pinakita mo pa, diba? So, be proud of it. It's okay. Now, if you're really like experimental, you really want to express yourselves using clothing, you can also do thrifting. Sobrang daming thrift stores that you can go to.
Yes.
And that's fine. That's perfectly fine. You
Ito,
can
miss.
start with where you are.
Can you reco some thrift shops? Kung saang area maganda mag-thrift?
Naku, sobrang dami. So, I haven't gone to a lot of places recently because sobrang busy. But when I was a student, I remember going to Cubao.
Yes.
I remember going to
Iconic.
Anonas. And then we'd go to Baguio. There's like a building there also that you can go to and get a lot of clothes. I used to not know anything about brands. Kinukuha ko lang talaga kung ano nagagandahan
At
ako.
kung ano yung babagay.
Kung
yes.
anong babagay, exactly. So, siniswerte with like the quality of the materials, ganyan. So, a lot of my clothing when I was younger, and actually even up to now, I still have thrifted items na sobrang tipay. So, ang saya niya. So, you can start there. Oh, and also, and this is very practical, learn how to sew. I don't mean like have a sewing machine and learn how to sew your own jacket. Like, gumawa ka ng jacket from scratch. Hindi ganun. Magsulsi ka lang. Like, learn how to mend your own clothes. Pag may nasira, pag may nabutas, pwede mo silang ayusin. So, that's one of the life skills that I'm very grateful I have, that I can sew anything. Because now that I have kids, and my kids have like their favorite stuffed toys, syempre hindi mo na mabibili ulit yun, di ba? Kasama na kasi lahat ng mga pinagdaanan nila with that particular stuffed toy. So, I had to sew them over and over again. Nakakailang buhay na yung mga stuffed toy na yun. So, it's an important life skill for anyone. Not just for mothers, not just for women, as in everyone talaga. We all have clothes, we all wear clothes, and lahat sila nasisira at some point. So, don't throw them away. Give them another life.
I love how sustainability is your branding talaga beyond the art to art, as in your personality talaga, miss. And thank you for the ukay reco. So,
Yes.
okay, girls and boys, you know the drill. And pero, sa experience nyo, miss, ano yung mga common misconception natin dyan pagdating sa sustainable products and ethical brands na, you know, kailangan na ding mabasag?
Na yun, parang it's very expensive because when you say sustainability, there is a range. Pwede kang, again, you can get hand-me-downs. Please don't be ashamed of getting hand-me-downs or exchanging clothes with people. It's okay. Pwede kang mag-thrift sa ukay. Pwede kang magsulse. You can sew your own stuff. And then, if you have the means, if you can also support local brands. So, that are supporting other local communities. And the thing is, minsan kasi the impression is, mahal siya for mahal's sake. Lalo na yung mga handmade products. But if you really think about it, if you have a handmade product that is very, very cheap or very too affordable, sino nagbabayad ng labor cost? Yung gumawa. Ibig sabihin, nilibre ka. Parang, sige, yung labor cost ko ganito na lang kaliit para mamurahan ka. 'Di ba? Parang, if you say handmade and it is surprisingly cheap, question that rather than question why it is more expensive. Of course, meron din namang OA, like sobrang expensive, diba? And maybe there are reasons behind it. Maybe because yung tela gawa from scratch. Pwede rin yun. Pwedeng pag nakita mong sobrang embroidered siya, gawang kamay lahat yun. So, ask questions. It's okay to ask questions. And if you cannot afford something, if you're not yet there at the point of your life, or it's not a priority, it's also okay. Because there are also other options. But brands like us, no matter, like kami, R2R, or other brands who are local that are a little bit like more affordable or very expensive, we're all trying our best in some ways. So, kung meron kaming mga market that we cater to, we're very happy about that. And if we can welcome more advocates into our brand, we're also happy about that. But for me personally, I don't expect everyone to, uy, tangkilikin nyo naman kami. to me, kanya-kanya ng priorities. And you can start sustainability with where you are and with what you have.
Rags to Riches has worked closely po with Kultura over the years. What makes partnership like this important for advancing sustainability and supporting po yung ating mga local artisans?
Yes, so SM Cultura is actually one of our first believers in R2R. Isa sila sa mga nag-place ng first big order sa R2R when we were not yet a known brand.
When was that, ma'am?
Maybe 2008 or 2009.
Just a year after.
Mga ganon.
Grabe.
Yes. So, one of the earliest companies that really supported us because ever since sustainability, providing opportunities for communities, meron na silang ganong inclination. So, through the years, R2R has grown and I've also seen Kultura grow as well. And talagang coming home to Kultura this year was, to me, a full circle. Na parang, wow, we started because they believed in us. They're one of our first believers. And now we're back in a very different time. But I would argue this is actually a better time because a lot more people see value in Filipino crafts. And when you think about that, a lot of people think about Kultura first. Like, ay, doon tayo pumunta to get products that are very Filipino, that support communities. So we're very proud of it. And being part of SM Green Finds as well. Because, again, a lot more people are looking for sustainable products that reflect their values. But sometimes it's hard to find. Parang ang hirap niyang tingnan online lang. Hindi mo alam kung ano yung verified or saan ka talaga makakakuha ng products that are nice but also advocates for sustainability. So SM Green Finds does that. So it also gives you that spotlight and that platform. So to us, we're very proud to be part of SM Kultura and SM Green Finds.
Yeah, speaking about SM Green Finds, recently nga po yung R2R naging part siya nun.
Yes.
And how does being part of that kind of platform help connect conscious consumers with brands na nag-share ng values with them?
Yes. So, a lot of brands are advocating for sustainability in many ways. But it's harder for people to find them. Maybe they don't have the big platform, they don't have the social media following yet. So, hindi pa sila ma-discover. So, nagiging platform for discovery yung SM Green Finds. That when customers look at that, they can see their options. And it's a range, ha? So, again, you can look for products that fit your vibe more, fit your style more, fit your budget more. So, I think it's great because it puts all of the sustainable brands of the partners of SM Cultura together in an umbrella that people can just see and support.
Pero grabe rin po talaga yung tiwala ni SM Cultura na just a year after you launch, talagang nakipag-partner din siya sa inyo. Paano nyo na-pull off yun? Ang galing.
Yeah. Well, hindi ko alam kung year talaga or like year or two, basta super early.
Yes.
Kasi nga 18 years na, my memory's not that good anymore. But yeah, it was kind of early. I remember, I think we just talked about R2R, they looked at the products, they liked it, and they were asking us for designs, and we were able to create the designs that fit the market of Kultura during that time. So, it wasn't hard, to be honest, kasi I think we also had good support from our partners back then. And it helps that the partner that you're talking to is already very open to you. Yun yung important, I think. Kasi mahirap makipag-usap kung yung partner hindi open to begin with. But because the partnership is very values-aligned from the beginning, it wasn't really a hard conversation.
Going back to R2R, creating impact is one thing sa mga businesses and startups, but scaling it is another thing. Partnerships, it plays a major role in helping sustainable brands to reach more people. As we look ahead, Miss, how do you see sustainability, yung idea itself, how it will evolve in the Philippines over the next years, let's say 3 to 5 years?
It's hard to tell because sometimes nakikita mo para siyang cycle na may time na sobra siyang sikat, tapos may time na iba yung priorities ng mga tao kasi may something na urgent, like if there are calamities, if there's a war, iba-iba yung nagiging priorities. If there are scandals, ganyan. So, it's a cycle. But to me, I think we're getting better, little by little. So, kahit cycle siya, if you can imagine it, para siyang akyat, baba, but it's still on the upward trend. I think more people are gonna be better, more brands are gonna be better when it comes to sustainability. I hope we try, like all of the sustainable brands or brands that advocate for sustainability can think about how to be more sustainable. Kasi mahirap siya isipin. Again, if we think about perfection right away, we will never move.
Yes.
So, isa-isa lang until we get better. But ang minsan worry ko is what if we don't pause anymore and say, how can we do better? Kasi parang okay na. Or we are already succeeding. But I think that push of how can we be better is what is going to make the business better, but also the country better, if all of us think that way.
Considering that projection, ano po yung nagbibigay sa inyo ng most hope when you think about the future of Filipino craftsmanship and, you know, yung other considerations like yung sa business and social entrepreneurship?
What gives me hope? Madami. So, it comes from the little things, like the stories of our artisans, the lives that the company is able to change, and the artisans themselves and how they're able to change themselves and their families and their future. Para bang nagkaroon ng alternate timeline na, or alternate future, na parang dati, ito yung future dapat based on where they were going, but because R2R came and we worked together, nag-iba yung naging direction of the future. And I think that's fascinating that you can have the agency to change your path. And lalo na if your path is in poverty.
Yes.
Like your parents, your grandparents, lahat mahihirap. Yung mga anak mo feeling mo maghihirap din. And then all of a sudden, well, hindi siya all of a sudden kasi mahaba-habang trabaho siya. And then, because of a partnership, you're able to change that course. I think that's super powerful. That's very empowering. So that gives me hope. But what also gives me hope is the fact that I really believe in our country and our culture. I think we have very talented people. And when I look around the world, like I'm a fangirl of like BTS and global brands. And I see how, because of their talent and their ability to connect to the rest of the world, they're able to bring their country with them. Kaya nilang magbigay ng more jobs to their country. They can export more of their products and their economy gets better and their people get better.
Yes.
So to me, kaya rin natin yun. Our country can do that too. We have amazing artists who are now going on the global stage, and I'm very, very proud of them. I think they're able to shine the light on Philippine talent, and it could bring more people with them. Parang mas madaming magiging interesado sa pagkain natin, with our craftsmanship, with our Filipino talent, and that could help the country in a big and sustainable and long-term way.
The talent is there po, no? Kailangan na lang din talaga ng more room for opportunities and tools for innovation. Yes.
Yes.
For final thing, Miss Reese, what's one thing na you hope every Filipino remembers when making everyday decisions, especially, you know, as bilang consumers or bilang entrepreneurs or community members?
Mahirap kasing mag-isip beyond yourself and your family, especially if you're struggling. And I do understand that. So, to me, I just like to always invite people to somehow think about the consequence number 1, 2, up to 3 of their actions. Kahit hindi to 100. Kasi ang dami mo namang time. Parang sana all, ganun kahaba yung time, right? But sometimes kasi we think about consequence number 1. and not 2 and 3. So for example, when you buy something, yung consequence number 1 is, ay, may susuotin ako sa event. Pero, ano yung consequence number 2? Ay, yung company na tulungan ko to do this. Ay, itong community artisan yung gumawa niyan. Consequence number 3, pag ginamit ko to for a long time, so parang ang daming consequences that you can think of. It's a mental exercise, but if you go through life doing that maybe 10 to 20% of the time, or even less, but still intentionally do that, how many more better decisions can you make? That's not just for yourself, but for other people too.
I like what you said about that. And thank you so much, Miss Reese, for your time
Thank
today
you.
and for sharing your insights with us.
Thank you so much for having me. It's a pleasure to be part of this and to share our story.
And to our viewers, thank you for tuning in to Freshly Brewed. Don't forget to catch our next episode, subscribe to our YouTube channel, and follow us on social media. I'm Bless Ogerio. See you next time.
And that wraps up today's episode of Freshly Brewed. Thank you for joining us, and we hope today's conversation inspired you to look at sustainability in a new light. As we've learned, every purchasing decision has the power to create impact, supporting communities, preserving local craftsmanship, and encouraging businesses to grow responsibly. Stay informed, stay inspired, and make smarter choices every day with Business Mirror. For the latest stories and updates, visit Business Mirror and follow us on our social media channels. Stay ahead, know more, and see you next time.